Okay, let's move on to the last part on our training on dynamic zooming and dynamic grouping. So I have a view called Belgium here, and as you can see we have a number of icons which are created using the regular dynamic positioning. Let's take a look at this Visio. So dynamic zoom, so it's just a very basic icon shape with an XPOS which is linked to parameter 101, so table of our element containing our data. We have again two reference shapes using the GPS coordinates, and on page level we have an option called dynamic zoom. So it's really simple to set this up. And what does the dynamic zoom do? Let's move back to the regular dynamic positioning. So if I'm going to zoom on this page, you'll see that all of the shapes, the background, are all equally zooming in and growing larger. So now let's move back to our dynamic zooming example. Here, if I zoom in, you will see the icons stay the same size and are repositioned. So this is basically ideal for use with maps where you need to zoom in, or could be any other thing where you want to zoom in to see more details. Then next step is the grouping. As you can see here, our shapes are grouped with the plus icon, and when we start to zoom in, you see more and more of the single icon shapes appearing. So the grouping is depending on how far away from each other these icons are. If we start zooming out again, they start going into a different group again. Let's check this in Visio. So to do this in Visio, we're on the grouping page. Again, we have our icon, the two reference shapes, and the dynamic zoom option on the page level, and we have one additional shape that's doing our grouping. That's just a very simple shape called shape grouping, or with shape data, shape grouping and all as value. And that's it basically. So again, really simple to set up, but we can expand on this. So as you can see here, we have, if I zoom in a bit, two grouped icons. So we have the city of Beveren and the city of Antwerp, which are really close to each other. So when we start zooming out, they are grouped. But if for some reason you don't want this, you can add a group by label. So let's take a closer look at that. Maybe first take a look at our source data. So in our source data label, we have some additional data fields. So we have the cities here, and the other column here is using the provinces. This, or a shorthand for the province names. So we'll be using this as group by. Okay, let's go into Visio again. Edit Visio. Okay, grouping page. I'll just duplicate this one and name it group by. Okay, so we add a new shape data field called group by, and value, we say column equals, let's take a quick look at the protocol or at the data. Okay, so it's ID 118. I'm going to use that one. And we'll probably need spaces around that. Okay, let's save and go back. Okay, it's not saved. Try again. Okay, so we have our group by page now, and it's not working. So let's take a look again. Yeah, made a mistake there. I've only added the group by, but while doing so, I removed the shape grouping. So let's go back in, edit the shape data, add a new one, shape grouping all. Okay, and let's save. Okay, so it's grouping now, but I'm not getting the expected result. It's still grouping these two. Okay, so let's go bug hunting in Visio, or at least hunting for the configuration issue. Let's try without the spaces. Save and go back. Yes, so this is the result we want. So with the regular grouping, these two shapes that are close to each other are grouped. When we are using a group by, they are not grouped because they are in different groups, in this case provinces. And then finally you can also add connectivity to the groups. Let's zoom in a bit here. Okay, so here you can see we have 3 locations with connections between them. And as we start zooming out, so first 2 locations are grouped and also the connections are grouped. If we click on this group shape, you get a pop-up with some details, and in the detail on top of the details window you have a selector here. So while the shapes are grouped, you can still view the details of all the items that are in that group, and you can switch through them using the drop down here on top. Okay, so as we zoom out further, you see each time the connections are grouped together with the locations. And so that's working every time. Whenever 2 shapes are grouped, also the connections are grouped into one. So that's it for our demo on the dynamic zoom and dynamic grouping. So that's it for the advanced portion of the dynamic positioning training. Remember that you can combine the dynamic positioning with many of the other features in Visual Overview to create great visualizations. If you come across any difficulties, go check out the DataMiner Dojo. There you can check the help files, you can use the question sections to search if anyone has had similar problems, or you can ask your questions directly. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.